Patriot बोलेगा तो अपन को लगता है 6 का 6 दाग देगा, ठोक डालेगा. Post the partition between India and Pakistan, which is a very painful memory for anybody who's from Pakistan or from India, they lost everything they had, right? All the palaces, the lands, the jagirs, all of that, and had to start from zero.
We are sitting at a 33% plus from H1 of 2023.
Owais, this is why I love having a conversation with you, because you're like me. You talk on data, you talk on analytics, and that racket is still with me.
Nice.
So many years later, I think I was 12 when I got that racket. I still have it because it means a lot more than a racket.
So you've had it
means
for 10
that
years.
Journey. You're very kind. lot more than 10 years. You have to go by car only when you're traveling with a family. When you're going to college, when you're going for your drama competitions, when you're going to represent your university, you use the local train, you use the bus. By the time I was 19, I set up my first company. I raised $3 million.
It becomes like an image that without Wynn Casino, Ras Al Khaimah is nothing. They set up the records for the longest fireworks in the world, Guinness Book of World Records. Everywhere in the world, Ras Al Khaimah was already in the spotlight. Wynn Casino was an add-on. Hello and welcome to our podcast. My name is Owais Andrabi and I'm the Managing Director of Patriot Real Estate. Our guest today needs no introduction. He's somebody who has entertained us for more than 20 years in Bollywood. Everybody might have seen him on the silver screen. Mr. Vivek Oberoi. Hi, Mr. Vivek. How are you?
Thank you, Owais. Always a pleasure meeting you.
Always a pleasure as well. Thank you so much for inviting us over to your office.
Well, Patriot and anybody from Patriot is always welcomed here. Red carpet, open door.
Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Vic, before we move on, I just wanted to say one thing. We have had the opportunity to meet a couple of times before as well. As I was mentioning it before as well, I've seen that a lot of people, whenever you have an interview with people, everybody is emphasizing on you as an actor, which is, of course, everybody knows you as an actor. At least Desis need no introduction. Like you don't need any introduction with
You're very
us.
kind. Thank you.
But when we met for the first time, this is what we were discussing, the top management of Patriot Real Estate. We were just looking at you and we were just listening to you for 30 minutes when we were talking about, you as an entrepreneur, you talking about your developments in business. And that's the first time, to be honest, when I saw you at your prime as an entrepreneur and as a businessman. So I really want to focus on that side more. If you don't have any objections to that.
Absolutely, Owais. This is your podcast. I'm just a regular guest. Whatever you ask.
Vivek, I was listening to a couple of interviews where you were talking about your skills as a businessman and where you started businesses long before you were an actor.
Sure.
And of course, everybody knows that you were in business during your acting career as well. And of course, now you are full on, in the development, the real estate sector of Dubai. So I just wanted you to tell the people who are listening to us on your experiences as a businessman before you were an actor. Also, when you were an actor and you were, doing business side by side, how are you managing the stress and how are you managing both of those things? How do you see yourself as a businessman now, after all of this, and now that you're settled in Dubai?
Wow, that's a long question with a lot of nuances. I think my journey as an entrepreneur, I have principally my father to thank, because even though we came from a wealthy household, my father had seen ups and downs. We came from a noble family with the Maharajas of Punjab. Oberoi is actually a title that was bestowed upon us back in the day in, undivided India. Post the partition between India and Pakistan, which is a very painful memory for anybody who's from Pakistan or from India. They lost everything they had. Right? All the palaces, the lands, the jagirs, all of that, and had to start from zero. So my father always believed that, he needed to train me to value money and build the ability to understand money, how to transact. He never wanted me to be in a very, comfortable and cushioned environment. He wanted to toughen me up. So whether it was just buying real estate or, investments, he would always involve me as early as the age of 9, 10. For example, during our summer holidays, we would always go to a nice fancy location all together as a family. But his condition used to be for 2 to 3 weeks before the summer holidays. School khatam hota tha, and he used to bring me a product. And he would say, this is the product. This is your notebook. Write in it how much you owe your father, which is the cost price of this product.
Okay.
On top of that, write what are you going to spend in going to sell it, including logistics costs. So he explained all those aspects to me, right? So CapEx, OpEx. I had already started understanding those things when I was a little kid at the age of 10. And I would go with my school bag full of product. Kabhi, it used to be perfume. Sometimes it used to be electronics. Sometimes it used to be... Every year it would be some different challenge, a different sector. And I used to put it all into my backpack, ride my bike all around Juhu and go door to door selling. And that taught me a lot of things. It taught me how to deal with rejection, taught me how to deal with training myself for a pitch, how to sell a product, how to manage accounts, how to bring that money back, collect that money, keep it in my safe little box, and then write my accounts. And then when the whole product amount was sold, unsold inventory, how to sell it at a discount, at least overall to margin out and pay dad back the principal amount.
Yeah.
And whatever else I made on top was mine to go and blow it on holiday. Buy whatever you want.
Just a question on this specific thing. Everybody knows your father. He was an established actor.
Yes, he was
back
a star.
in the day.
Yes.
Exactly. So didn't you feel a little awkward? Oh, I have to go and sell door to door or something?
In our family, we've never had the culture of entitlement. It's always been encouraged to not have awkwardness, shame, or pride with regards to money. पैसों से pride नहीं होनी चाहिए और पैसों से शर्म भी नहीं आनी चाहिए. If you don't have the money, you don't have the money. My father used to always tell me, I am a rich man, you are not. You will get there. But I am a rich man, you are not. You have to get there on your own. That inspired me always. And even when we had the money, we've never been one of those who will go and talk big money numbers and say, today I own this or I have that. We believe in humility. We believe in living simply. Those are the values that I was brought up with. And those are the values that my grandfather brought my father up with. So it's a generational thing. For example, when I came back from the best boarding school in India, there was never any compromise on quality of education, quality of food, quality of experience. There was never any compromise there. But the additional things, the little indulgences, oh, I want this game, or I want to buy this fancy bike, or I want to buy this. Those were all perks, incentives that were earnouts. You were given an opportunity, you perform well, you were earned out. So if I wanted the best racket when I was playing badminton, he said, here it is, this is the best racket, this is what it costs. You win this tournament, you have the racket. Okay. Till then you will play with this regular racket.
Okay.
So then the full motivation was to win the tournament.
Okay.
And then when I win the tournament, I would win the racket. And that racket is still with me.
Nice.
So many years later, I think I was 12 when I got that racket. I still have it because it means a lot more than a racket.
So you've had it
means
for 10
that
years.
Journey. You're very kind, a lot more than 10 years. But that's the way we were brought up. When I came back from Mayo College, which is one of the finest schools in India, boarding school that was created by the British for the royal families and princes and stuff like that. When I came back home, every one of my friends at the age of 15, 16 were given a car by their parents, even though technically you're not allowed to have a license. My father's a stickler for rules. So if you don't have a license till the age of 18, you will not be driving. Simple as that. And I want you to learn, you have to go by car only when you're traveling with a family. When you're going to college, when you're going for your drama competitions, when you're going to represent your university, you use the local train, you use the bus. And when I was standing there, a friend of mine stopped his car that his father had just gifted him at the bus stop. And he said, I'm so embarrassed to see you standing at this bus stop, waiting for a bus like regular folk. Get into my car. I will drop you. I said, no. So he said, why? I'm saying I'll drop you. I said, today you'll drop me. I'll get used to this. Every day I have to take this bus only. My father's very clear. So tomorrow, if you don't come to pick me up, I'm stuck. I want to get used to taking the bus because this is what I have to do and I don't have to depend on anybody else for it. So very clear. When my other friend used to tell me that, when I when I grow up, my father's going to buy me a fancy sports car, luxury car. I used to say, when I grow up, I'm going to buy my father a luxury car. So the mindset was very different.
And when did that happen?
Oh, pretty soon. Just a matter of few years from college. Because in college only I started doing a lot of side hustles, income. From the age of 15, I've taken only blessings from my father. I've never taken any money. And it's all thanks to him. He made me capable enough that by the time I was 16, 17, my kids were going to party. I was following the stock market. I went to learn. I apprenticed a stockbroker to understand the insides of the trading. And therefore today, I've managed to take about 9 companies public on the Indian stock markets. I'm taking 4 more.
So that was your
But
first
if I
job?
didn't do that when I was 16, 17 years old, I wouldn't understand the markets from the inside the way I do today. And I'm a person who believes in meticulous detail. By the time I was 19, I set up my first company. I raised $3 million at the age of 19 from international investors, local investors, built a company, sold the company when startups weren't called startups, when exits weren't called exits, way back.
Which company was this?
This was India's first supercritical fluid extraction plant in nutraceutical businesses.
Nice.
So I built the business out, made a lot of money for my investors, made a lot of money for myself. By the time I was 23, I sold the company. It was 4 years of hard work while still going to college, while competing and doing my first love, which was always theatre, and representing the university there. So I was always busy. I was always doing things. When I wanted to learn how to be a good artist in terms of voice, dubbing was essential. So I went to the best dubbing artist in the country, Leela Ghosh, and I sat down there at her feet and made her my guru and said, you teach me. And she said, well, you have to earn while you learn. All these international shows are coming to India. You have to dub and voice all these shows. So you dub and voice these shows and I'll pay you pocket money for it. So now I was 15, 16 years old, fresh in 11th standard. I used to be at Leela Di's dubbing studio as soon as college was finished.
Okay.
And I was there, working with Leela Di and some of the biggest international films like The Rock, Star Wars, all of these when they were being dubbed in Hindi, I voiced them. Walt Disney, the cartoons. I've done so much work. Bold and the Beautiful, Santa Barbara, Small Wonder, all these shows back in the day. I used to voice them for Hindi. And I would do the reverse for Surabhi, which was an Indian show that would go all over the world, which is a Hindi show, which I used to dub in English. So for me, the thought process has always been do and learn.
And when you were in the acting career, you were simultaneously doing your businesses as well, I believe.
When I was in my acting career, the sudden flow of income exponentially grew. Then it became more about smartly investing. Right? It's not easy to earn, but it's more challenging to take care of that income that you earn. कमा सब लेते हैं, संभालना बहुत कम को आता है. So you have to learn how to be a savvy investor. You have to learn not to be speculative. You have to learn not to make mistakes. You have to learn to be well informed. Even at BNW, when we do a transaction, I tell my entire team, my sales team, to say, please inform the investor of all the risks associated, inform the investors of the data, the analytics, the report, based on which we are taking this initiative. And that makes an investor feel very comfortable that I know the worst case scenario, I know the best case scenario. We don't paint only rosy pictures.
And Vivek, what can you tell us about the way you moved to Dubai? And this has become your second home now. What made you decide to move to Dubai for good?
Well, I think there is an incredible positive atmosphere in Dubai where if you add value to this incredible country, it adds exponential value back to you. I don't see any other country in the world that has 90% of its population as non-locals, expatriates. And yet they're not intimidated. They're still welcoming people with open arms, appreciating talent. Just today we had a wonderful gentleman from the Labour Ministry coming in. Came in just to appreciate us. saying, I love what you're doing with your 400 plus strong team. We love the way you've created a fantastic atmosphere in BNW. If you have any issues, if you have any problems, I'm here for you.
That's nice.
We are here to support people who are doing good work. This is an exceptional trait, and it comes directly from the great vision of the rulers of this country that have made people feel like this is your home away from home. It makes you feel welcome here.
Yeah.
In any other country, the minute outsiders go in and do well, there is a level of negativity that generates.
Yeah.
These people have come from outside, they're taking away our jobs, they're taking away our lands, it starts to become them and us.
Yeah.
But this is an exception to the rule where you are just welcomed and given so much love and respect, and you're able to pursue your culture, you're able to pursue your religion, no matter what it is, your faith, your beliefs, your business, your aspirations. You have complete freedom. Just respect the local laws.
Exactly.
Respect the local customs and culture. Respect the local people. And you have no problem. It's a conflict-free, relaxed space where you can thrive.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this country. And I came here during COVID initially. It was supposed to be just a short-term move. And I just loved the experience.
Perfect.
I asked my family, and democratically the family voted to stay.
Okay.
And they said, we like it here. We'd like to stay here. It's so close to home that we don't feel that we're far away. We fly home for a weekend. We fly home at every holiday that we get. And now slowly over the last 4+ years, this has started feeling more like home.
Yeah.
It's a great place to do business too. I love the business environment here.
Agreed.
I love the supportive, enthusiastically supportive nature of the bureaucracy. Every department. We do a lot of work in Ras Al Khaimah, for example. So whether it's Ras Al Khaimah Rera, the chief is there giving you advice, telling you, this is how Mr. Khalifa, who works there. Such a positive person. When you go to Al Marjan, where we work over there, so whether it's Mr. Abdullah Abduli, or whether it's Khalid, or who's doing the business development there, or Mr. Harshendra, they make you feel like they're there to solve your problems.
Yeah.
Even those that you haven't seen that could come in the future. Hey guys, this is what our advice is. This is how you should go about it. That I have yet to see. I've done business in 16, 17 countries all over the world, different businesses. Is generally that you go to a person to solve a problem when a problem has already occurred, and then there's that process and red tape and bureaucracy to solve a problem.
True.
This is the first place where I've seen where people will invite you, tell you, let us foresee if there could be any issues so that your journey is smooth, and let us help you and guide you through it.
Yeah.
And then they let you do your work.
Yeah.
And as long as you're honest, transparent, committed, delivering what you've promised, there are no problems.
I agree with that. And if I would like to add something to that as well. I mean, I've been here for the last 12 years. I came here in 2012. And for me, it was a thing where, I'll stay there 2-3 saal rukunga, phir wapas chala jaunga. And I've been here ever since. I saw a couple of developments happening. Marina, for example, the tram they started constructing the tram in 2014. That was when they announced the Expo 2020. And everybody was like, there's such an oversupply. So many developments happening. The demand and supply will never meet. There will be an oversupply. Come 2021, because of COVID, they delayed it for a year. There was no room available. People were staying in Sharjah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I say to the people, and especially the agents that are working. And a lot of clients, I mean, naturally, when there are lots of developments happening, a lot of the clients would ask, they will have this concern that, okay, there is a lot of development happening. Who's going to live there?
Yeah.
And this is what I tell them, that, see, there is us. I mean, I am a very humble person working at a very small level. And then there are, developers. Then there are people like you, who have whole developments on multiple locations. Then there is the ministry, bureaucrats. And then you have the royal family. They have hundreds of advisors. So they've, as you quite rightfully said, they foresee things for the next
Absolutely.
10 years, and they're prepared for any possible outcome, and they have done their due diligence. They're prepared. Worst case scenario, what are we going to do? How are we going to pivot the market? So the investors are safe. People kept saying it since 2004.
Yeah.
This is 2024.
Yeah.
People are still speculating. Oh, the market's going to go down. It's still not going
Look,
down.
To be very honest, this I've been through the journey as an investor where I've invested in the UAE from maybe 2003-4, when freehold was just a new
Announced,
concept, right? It was a new concept. I think it came around 2000. And I've been an early investor, whether it's the Palm or whether it's apartments, different places.
Yeah.
I've seen the crashes. I've seen the worst. I've seen the best times, the highs, purely as an investor before I was a developer. What I've realized about the UAE is they have an exceptional ability to learn from their mistakes and incorporate a mitigative thought process for the future.
Yeah.
We made a mistake. We're not going to make it again.
Exactly.
Okay, this was a mistake. Okay, we'll fix it now.
Yeah.
And then they don't make that mistake again.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're that clear and that precise, and they strive. They work really hard. So I think this is an exceptional place. I mean, when I first came here to Dubai, I think I was at one of the malls. I think it was Dubai Mall, the food court area. I went in there. Local friends said, we must go. There's this very good place to eat. And I was like, are you sure, guys? There's going to be a lot of crowd. I went there, and then a lot of people came in to take pictures and videos and this and that, the other. And then suddenly there was a buzz.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of noise around me where they were taking pictures of me, and I was obliging everybody as I always do. And then suddenly there was a buzz. And I see the ruler walking normally, no armed guards, big gunmen, bodyguards pushing anybody. No, just normally walking.
Yeah.
He had a lot of other people wearing the national dress, wearing the kandura and walking with him.
Yeah.
6-7 people walking with him. They were just taking rounds very calmly. And in front of my eyes, he stopped. He looked at me. He smiled. He acknowledged. I did my namaste. And then he walked further out, and he just met this lady who was sitting with her baby. And he just ruffled the baby's hair, the son's hair. And he asked the lady, are you enjoying Dubai? And she said, very much, sir. And he says, good. And he walked away. And I was so blown. I was like, oh my God, they're not sitting in an ivory tower, distancing themselves from the reality of life. They know the pulse.
Yeah.
They're on the ground.
Yeah.
They see, they understand, they evaluate what the city needs, what the country needs, the people need, and they respond so beautifully.
Yeah.
That is what I find exceptional. And that's why I feel that UAE as a nation, every country has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
But this nation will never fail, because the leadership, the vision, and the way it's being carried on generation after generation is exceptional.
Yeah. Yeah.
They think about 20 years into the future. One of the gentlemen on our advisory board of BNW was one of the 7 people who was brought in to work on Vision 2020 for Dubai. So he shares with us how they extrapolate situations for the future and think about it. Today, when people say supply, demand, oversupply, all these things, I say, well, today, the resident population of Dubai, let's take Dubai alone, is 3.7 million people.
Yeah.
For the same amount of residents, you have 18.3 million tourists and growing.
Yeah.
This year, it'll cross 20 plus.
Yeah.
Where will they stay?
Exactly.
You don't have that many hotel keys.
Yeah.
People come, they stay in apartments. You have multiple organizations like yourself also that manage inventory for people who are coming in for short term.
Yeah.
That requirement is there. It's only growing.
Yeah. We have over 450 units that we're managing we're almost always fully booked.
There you go.
We have over 96% occupancy
rate. Yes, the average occupancy rate is now at 94.
Yeah. For us, it's 96.
Including summer.
Exactly.
Including the worst season, which was considered to be dead. Nobody comes during this season. It's full.
Yeah.
The data shows that 2016, 17, 18, say pre-COVID, your average stay here was between 1 and 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
Post-COVID has jumped to 4 nights.
Yeah.
People are stopping. They're
This
not
is-
just using this as a via. They say, oh, if I'm flying through Dubai, let me stay in Dubai.
Yeah.
Let me enjoy everything that there is to enjoy. People are coming here to enjoy that quality of life.
Yeah. This is what I was going to say about the fact when there is a crash in Dubai. I mean, usually you might agree with me on this, that it happens due to unforeseen reasons. 2008 bubble was
Lehman Brothers, yes.
Yeah, it was pretty something that could not be foreseen 10 years before or 5 years before, and also COVID. Nobody could foresee that.
Which is why it recovers so well.
Exactly.
Because the fundamentals are not bad.
Yeah.
When a stock market crashes, there are two kinds of companies. One company, because I've done so much work in stocks, one company is with bad fundamentals, one company is with good fundamentals.
Exactly.
The one with bad fundamentals crashes and never recovers.
Yeah.
Because it was just a bubble, it was inflated. But the ones with good fundamentals, slowly, as the market recovers, they start to recover. Because that's the company, when people see the fundamentals are right, investors like myself who understand start to invest. Say, this is cheap.
Yeah.
The price earning ratio is low. I should buy it now because it will eventually find equilibrium. I think that is what happens with UAE.
Post-COVID, with UAE specifically, the way they handled the pandemic,
Brilliant.
the way the whole world was on a lockdown. People were coming here for short-term visas or freelancing visas. That's when they opened it.
Correct.
People came here, they saw it, even the people see. So wherever, especially when I went to, let's say, the States, not a lot of people were really aware of what Dubai was back in the day. Now they are.
Yeah.
Let's say 2018, 2019, they were not really aware of what Dubai is. They thought that it's one other country in the Middle East. But post-COVID, when they came to Dubai for their freelancing visas and they stayed here, they didn't want to go back. They settled here. And that pulled a lot of investment in. And also one thing that people say that, again, there's an oversupply. Urban Master Plan 2040, I've also done a video on this, that it targets Dubai's population at 8 million.
Correct.
So, I mean, this is what I was saying. Even if we miss the target by 50%, even if we miss, let's say, worst case scenario, we just reach 6 million people.
Sure.
At 8 million people, we need 272,000 people that need to come to Dubai every year.
Correct.
And around 60 to 70% of that is happening already.
Sure.
We are sitting at a 33% plus from H1 of 2023.
Sure.
So let's keep it at that. ArcGIS, it's an independent body.
Owais, this is why I love having a conversation with you, because you're like me. You talk on data, you talk on analytics.
Thank you so much.
In my office, I have one analyst, and I don't think outside my core team many people know about this. We factor our internal dashboard with 50 global, worldwide factors, economic indicators that give us data trends. And I do this on a weekly basis. And then we have 22, 23 local trends, indicators. So it's totally about 72, 73 indicators that I look at once a week. I wake up early in the morning when my kids are still sleeping, on a weekend, when I'm not in office, and I go through the analytics, and I can see that for the next 7-8 years, consistently, unless COVID happens, unless there's force majeure, I can see consistent growth.
Yeah.
I'm very, very bullish on the UAE market, which is why BNW is expanding at the rate that we are. God willing, this journey is successful for us, our investors, our partners, our buyers, everybody who is a partner in this journey with us. And that's our prayer every morning. Every morning when I pray to the divine, I always say that may everyone create wealth, create success, and may it be good for all of us.
Moving on to our next question, which is kind of the main thing that I wanted to talk to you about here. Tell us about how you started BNW as a real estate, and then you moved on to the development side.
Sure.
Take us through that, please.
So I think real estate has been in my blood for very, very long. I was 6-7 years old when my dad taught me in India we have something called a Satbara, which is the 712 extract, the document that gives you ownership of a land, the title deed of a land. So I knew what a Satbara was when I was 7 years old.
Okay.
Right? When I was 7. I knew how to go see land. I knew how a transaction is done, what a broker is, what commissions are, percentages are, etc., etc. When I was that young, because I traveled with my dad on weekends to go see lands outside of Mumbai city, and he would buy, he would sell, he would trade lands. So I was always in love with real estate. Then by the time I became a movie star, all the excess cash flow was always invested in real estate, and I found that those were the nest eggs that would give you tremendous cushion. You had your stock portfolio up, down, liquidity, etc., etc. But in Hindi, say in India especially, they say कि धरती, which is the earth, माँ होती है, is a mother, और माँ हमेशा दे के जाती है, लेती नहीं.
Yeah.
So I've always experienced that. I have experienced buying a piece of land somewhere and forgetting about it. And then suddenly when I realize, oh, what about that land? And I realize the valuation's gone up like 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. I've made even 15 to 20x on just pure raw land. So I've loved land. And then I ventured into development in 2010-11. I built multiple gated communities, townships in India, built ultra luxury, then I built low cost housing, I built AAA commercial. So I built a lot and sold about 22,000 homes in total if I look at my portfolio.
Just in India?
Just in India, yes. Most of them affordable housing, that's why the numbers
Okay.
come. 3,000, 4,000 home communities. But then also large gated communities of 1,300 villas, 1,400 villas, master planning, developing, 100 acres plus. So I've had that experience. And when I met my brother, my partner, Ankur Agarwal, and he was such a sharp, brilliant mind, so focused, fantastic in terms of his execution abilities, doing very well in your line of work in brokerage. And I always wanted us to move and veer towards development and not be in broking, because that's something that I had done. And that was also Ankur's passion. He also wanted to be a developer. So we aligned, we joined forces, created BNW Developments from Bricks and Woods Real Estate.
Yeah.
Moved to BNW Developments.
Which year was this?
We started planting the seeds 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
To move into full-fledged development. But we wanted to go with a slate approach. I've always believed that if you go with one building and say, I'm a developer, people are not going to take you seriously. Yeah. Patriot's not going to take me seriously. Yeah. But when I sit across Patriot and I say, I've got this portfolio of 14 projects coming up between Ras Al Khaimah, Dubai, and I'm going to be launching these every quarter.
Yeah.
Now Patriot takes me seriously because I'm giving them inventory. Net buyer takes me seriously that these are guys who are serious developers. They're here to stay.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of eggs all in the UAE basket.
Yeah.
The government takes me seriously because they realize that these guys are not doing it just as a actor hai, shauk hai, aaj hai, kal nahi hai. They're doing it seriously. My team, my family of 400 people takes me seriously because they're saying this is a full-fledged story. So for our team to move from traditional brokerage, which is what Patriot does, and BNW Real Estate used to do, them to change their mindset to becoming a developer.
Yeah.
We had to work with the team. We had to do a whole bunch of sessions. Ankur would do them. I would do them. We would all do sessions with them. We did Bricks to Brilliance, I don't know how many times, to keep pushing and motivating them to adapt, to grow, to identify new capacity building for each one of our team members, to transition into a full-fledged development company, to change the mindset. So when you do scale, a lot of people start taking you seriously.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with us. Today, you're developing more than 4.5 million square feet.
Yeah.
You're a substantial developer. If your gross development value of projects all put together is 15, 16 billion dirhams coming up in the pipeline, you're taken seriously by institutional investors, by funds, which is why we set up our own Gift City Fund in India also, which is a fund for global investors, non-resident Indians, local people who want to come in through a fund network and don't want to own an individual asset. We give them another opening. We said that do it like this, do it like this. We aligned with other funds from the US, from DIFC, from the UK, from Europe, from Russia,
Yeah.
structured funds from Europe, from Singapore, Hong Kong. And they're all seeing us as a professionally managed platform to associate with that has a really aesthetic vision to create really top class, high quality, and very reasonably priced
Yeah.
within the ultra luxury segment, very reasonably priced. Since you've done Aquark with us, and it's been a great success story, I must take this opportunity to commend you and
Thank
your
you
team
so
for
much.
doing
Thank you
a
so
brilliant
much.
job.
Thank you
You're
so much.
definitely one of our star associations. You guys have performed brilliantly, and hopefully this Diwali at our event, we hope to acknowledge that. And
Vivek, sorry, I really want to say this. The reason why that is when you came to the office, you sat down with us, the way you explained it. Had you not been a Bollywood star, had you just been an owner of a development company and just sat down with us and explained the way you explained your developments, and you explained Ras Al Khaimah to us in a way, we were sold either way.
thank you.
To be honest. And the reason, that one more reason that, see, we as a real estate company, we have, of course, we're here for the money as well.
Sure.
We have to earn. And as long as I feel secure that me and my agents, there's no conflict of interest with the developer, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable in working.
And your investors feel secure too.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I must say, for all the other real estate agencies that are listening to this, that you do not have a direct sales team.
No.
So that's the thing that I loved about the BNW the most.
We came from your business.
Yeah.
We understand the insecurity that, I give them my client, they make the client
Exactly.
theirs. We're not focusing on that. We are looking at the bigger picture, and I have always, in all my businesses, I've built 30 companies in my life.
Yeah.
Many of them are listed and doing phenomenally well. And what's worked for me is creating an ecosystem. If you look at nature, and we're all part of nature, we forget we are because we're living in skyscrapers, in with so much technology around us. But we're all part of nature.
Yeah.
Whether it's Owais or whether it's Vivek, when we stand in a garden where there's beautiful trees and birds chirping, you'll also feel peace. I'll also feel peace. I won't feel fear. I won't feel fear, and you will feel peace. It's not going to happen.
Exactly.
If you stand in a beautiful garden listening to, beautiful birds chirping, you have the sun's rays coming in, it's a beautiful weather morning, you'll feel the same, I'll feel the same. Human nature is the same.
Yeah.
We resonate with nature. I think if you look at nature, every success story in nature, if you look at a forest, if you look at any river ecosystem, it all works on an ecosystem. Everybody has their place. And as long as you don't infringe on the other space and allow everybody to grow together, you're fine. The only way you can damage that is by being greedy.
Yeah.
So in our system itself, we don't allow that. In our entire development mindset, ethos, DNA of BNW, we believe in building an ecosystem.
Yeah.
Let everybody thrive with us. If I have to cut Patriot, the biggest check Patriot has ever made, in their history, it will give me a sense of pride, not pain.
Which will be soon, inshallah.
God willing.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
One more thing I have to really say, Ravi, it has been a big help, to be honest. And he's one of the guys who's really activated Patriot Real Estate as a company to work with BNW. He's the one who initiated everything at the start. Sure. So I really have to give him a shout out.
I'm so glad you're mentioning Ravi. Ravi is a rock star, quite literally. I was so shocked at Ankur Bhai's birthday. I suddenly see this guy take the mic, playing the drums, singing, and I'm like, what are you? You're part of a development company or a talent show? What are you? It was incredible. And to his credit and his team's credit, it wasn't an easy transition.
Yeah.
When you're used to being part of a brokerage firm to a development firm and build relationships with multiple brokerage companies, to shift gears, to change transition, to retrain your team, to retrain the way they think, to retrain the way they operate, while seeing others continue to do what they're doing anyway, is difficult.
Exactly.
And Ravi did this with flying colors. He had his own hiccups. He had his own difficulties in the journey. He had his own speed breakers. But the difference that we have at BNW, whether it's Ravi, who's part of my team, or whether it's Owais, who I look at as a strategic partner, my door at BNW, and you can ask anybody from the guy who's serving us coffee and water right now, all the way to my C-suite, is always open.
Yeah.
So if my canteen boy will come to me and say, sir, I'm having this personal problem in my village, I'm there to solve it. If my strategic partner at Patriot is coming in, Owais, red carpet, Owais, what do you need? Tell me how I can help you. If Ravi has an issue, okay, Ravi, this is how I think I should guide you. This is how I think we can achieve. And it's collaborative.
Yeah.
It's never one direction. I will tell you how it's done.
Mm-hmm.
When I came to you the first time also, I came to your office.
Exactly.
I didn't pull rank and say, you come and meet me in my office. I came to you to show you respect that I believe Patriot is one of the best companies that does a great job.
We honestly appreciate that a lot.
And you delivered.
Yeah, exactly.
You came through on my faith.
Exactly.
So my trust in you was correct. And the same thing is when I came to you first time also, and this will happen again, I asked Patriot and the entire team, are we doing things right? Is there any input? If you see anything wrong, if there's a problem in the experience that you have with us, please let me know.
100%.
And we mean it with sincerity.
Yeah.
Because that helps us evolve. Coming back to what we were talking about, the rulers of this great country.
Yeah.
The reason this tiny country, geographically so small, has become so powerful is because the rulers, with all humility, have taught us as businessmen. They, I think, are the best corporate CEOs in the world.
Yeah.
Because they run this beautiful country like the best corporate CEOs in the world. Like, I don't think the Microsoft CEOs and the Apple CEOs can match what the rulers here do.
I mean, where else do you see happiness meter?
It's unbelievable.
In the government sector.
It's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, what they're doing is exceptional, and constantly problem solving and thinking about how to make quality of life evolve better. And everybody who comes here experiences it.
Yeah.
So we try to do the same in our little ecosystem within this large ecosystem. We say, how can I make Patriot's experience with me better?
Yeah.
How can I make Ravi's experience with me better? And everybody goes through their ups and downs. Everybody gets upset, tired, exhausted. At the end of the day, this is a race.
Yeah.
And there are, dynamics between departments and stuff like that. But my agenda is always to be solving positively towards harmony. Because in harmony, there's exponential growth, which is what we're experiencing.
Yeah.
We're a new developer. But we've got a GDV today of 14, 15, 16 billion dirhams.
Yeah.
People are astounded sometimes. And they're even more shocked to realize that we're a zero debt company. We have 40 plus cars in the company for our employees, for our guests, our investors who come in to buy or invest with us. Not a single car is on our loan. We're a zero debt company.
That's amazing.
We're answerable only to ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't have somebody putting a gun on our head saying...
That's an extra security for the investor, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knows that there is no third party coming in and saying, sorry, I'm taking this project over for Lee and he has not made cash flows. We don't do it. We have people coming in, funds, banks coming in and saying, take debt from me. We love your numbers.
Yeah.
We've got... No, sir, we don't want it. Take debt from me for your construction. No, sir, we don't want it. We don't want it.
That's good. We follow the same pattern at Patriot.
That's why we get along so well.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about Marjan Island.
Sure.
Your pet project right now, right? Before I ask the question, I would just want to clarify one thing for the viewers. I see a lot of people putting the emphasis on Wynn Casino, so much so that it becomes like an image that without Wynn Casino, Ras Al Khaimah is nothing. I see a lot of people doing this. And I just wanted to say one thing, that even before Wynn Casino was announced, ever since, I've been here, as I said, since 2012. My first time when I went to Ras Al Khaimah was 2016. And we went there for a staycation. And we've been going there ever since. Like, I think at least 20 to 30 times we go there in a year. Just for a short staycation. And the room rents were still high in Ras Al Khaimah. Post-COVID, they set up the records for the longest fireworks in the world, Guinness Book of World Records. Everywhere in the world, Ras Al Khaimah was already in the spotlight. Wynn Casino was an add-on. It's not just the Wynn Casino, it's an add-on.
Sure.
what would you say to the people, the investors who are looking for?
So yes, I resonate with you.
Yeah.
Look, Ras Al Khaimah is this jewel in the crown of the UAE. It's got this beauty, natural beauty, whether it's
I
the
agree.
mountains at Hatta, whether it's the beaches, the relaxed pace of life there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Personally, my kids love it. I love going to Ras Al Khaimah for holidays, whether it's staying at one of the lovely resorts, going in for, beautiful hikes, nature, especially now this time of the year when the weather's good. We visit Ras Al Khaimah a lot. Al Marjan Island to me is exceptional because it's not just driven by wind. A lot of people think that it is, but I believe that it's an important factor.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to discount it.
Agreed.
It's an important factor. Wind is an important factor. It's a big brand. It's the world's largest gaming resort that's being built there. But what people forget is the resort part.
Exactly.
It is not just for people Vegas style.
Yeah.
It is for families.
Yeah.
It has holding cultural values of the UAE.
Yes.
When we are developing, the authority asks us. They say, what are you doing for kids? What are you doing for families?
Yeah.
And we have to integrate that into our buildings.
True.
They're keeping that in mind. They're keeping sports. They're keeping cultural events. They're keeping all these things in mind. Like you said, the biggest New Year's firecrackers,
Yeah.
right? It's there for people to come, enjoy, sit by the beach
Exactly.
and watch it. If you look at the numbers, it's surprising that when I first started, investing in Ras Al Khaimah as BNW, when we started our journey there, the projections were 4 million tourists for Ras Al Khaimah from 2027. Those projections jumped to 6 to 7 million to 8 million. Now they're talking about potentially 11 million. To give you perspective, it has taken Dubai maybe 40, 45 years
Yes.
to build brand Dubai, which is a global brand today, to achieve 18 to 20 million tourists.
Yeah.
Ras Al Khaimah is skyrocketing
Exactly.
by that standard.
Yeah.
There is no wind resort today. Despite that, if you see the numbers, the data shows that 1.2, 1.3 million tourists have visited Ras Al Khaimah.
Exactly.
It has started becoming a reality where people say, if you're going to Dubai,
Go
go
to
visit
Ras
Ras
Al
Al
Khaimah.
Khaimah.
Yeah.
And I won't be surprised with the new airport and the phenomenal connectivity directly to Ras Al Khaimah Airport. I know from the India market for sure, there's so many airline companies that are seeing demand that they're applying for a direct flight to Ras Al Khaimah Airport.
You told us about the numbers. Could you just give us a rough figure?
Well, yes, I believe that by the time we see 2027 to 2030, you will have 20 to 27 flights per day
Directly just from India.
to Ras Al Khaimah Airport.
Yeah.
As per the data that I have in front of
Yeah.
me, this is the indication. And not just from the big cities,
Yeah.
even from the second tier cities of India.
Okay.
Because it's becoming so popular as a beautiful destination. You've got ultra luxury, but you've also got budget friendly.
Yeah.
And budget friendly in Ras Al Khaimah is also beautiful.
Exactly. It's
lovely.
It's not too.
It's not as prohibitively expensive because
Exactly.
Dubai can get expensive.
Yeah.
So people are enjoying. कि भाई
Yeah.
family vacation करना है, चलो Ras Al Khaimah चलते हैं.
There are room nights starting from as low as 350 AED
Exactly.
up to
Whereas
4,000, 5,000
Average
AED.
price in Dubai for a decent hotel is 650.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost double.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I believe that there's a space for Ras Al Khaimah, which is growing beautifully. And if this trend continues, by 2025, we should see tourism numbers hit anywhere between 1.5 to 2.5 million and double that by 26 in anticipation of the way our Marjan is growing.
Yeah.
Because Marjan is a beautiful setup.
Yeah.
The way they have envisioned it and what they're doing, whether it's art scene, culture scene, sports, experiences outside of Wynn, just the hotels, the Michelin star restaurants that are being planned there, the wellness experiences that are being planned there. It's a very big vision. But that's what happens. It gets diluted down to
Just
one element.
Exactly.
Oh, Wynn is coming.
Yeah.
Which is important, but it's not the only thing.
Exactly. I mean, as soon as you enter Marjan Island, on the left you will see a lot of food trucks there. All families sitting there. with their kids and
You hit the
parents.
nail on the head.
Exactly.
It's a place where I would take my family and be very happy and comfortable taking them.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have to think twice.
Yeah, and you have
I'll take
the
my
view
family.
of the beach. You have a
beautiful.
park and the kids
It's so
playing
pretty.
area. So when people say, "Oh, casino," they'll be like, "Oh, it's going to be like the Vegas Strip, only
Yeah.
parties and everything." No, it's not. I mean, yes, that element is there, as
Of
you
course
quite
it is.
rightfully said,
It's there.
and it does play a huge
Yeah.
part. But that's not the only thing. There's a
But
lot
if you
more
look at the
to it.
design of Marjan
Yeah.
Island also, one island is focused on that.
Exactly.
3 are for
Focused
families.
families. Yeah.
You have the Saudi German hospital coming up there.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You have all of this set up, whether it's anything you can need, from wellness to healthcare to everything that you can need to have a relaxing stay and enjoy it with your
Yeah.
family, and maybe not even walk into the gaming space.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Do you think Ras Al Khaimah is sitting exactly where Dubai was sitting in 2004?
I think I see tremendous potential. Even their policies at Raquez. I was talking to Khalid, who's the business development head for Ras Al Khaimah and even for Raquez. What they're doing with their economic zone and how they're bringing in so many friends of mine who are manufacturers, businessmen, industrialists. I keep introducing them, saying that please go and meet. And they all come back with a single response saying it was so easy.
Yeah.
They were so helpful.
Yeah.
Whether they invest, not, that's a financial decision.
Yeah.
But the experience is so welcoming that person says, yes, this is an option for me.
Yeah.
They're not that concern of going out of your comfort zone into another territory and saying, should I or should I not? They take care of that beautifully.
Yeah.
So I think with that kind of a positive mindset, I see tremendous growth potential for Ras Al Khaimah. We have a large portfolio in Ras Al Khaimah, aggressively going at it. In fact, by Diwali, we'll have a big announcement there. Something quite exceptional is in the works.
Yeah. I might try to get it out of you on the video, but you will not give it to me. I know.
way. No way. But we have something exceptional coming up there by Diwali, which we're going to announce soon as a follow-up to the success of Aqua Arc. So we're super excited about it. And our faith in the Emirate, as well as the people who are working collaboratively with us, is unshakable.
Okay. One last thing. Where do you see BNW in the next 5 to 10 years? And also, if you could tell us briefly, because you mentioned this before, and I really want you to say it to the audience on the camera, about the technology angle that you use in your developments. And also, I mean, as you know, sustainability is a very important thing at the moment. Almost 40% of carbon emissions all over the world are major part of that is real estate.
Absolutely.
New York and a couple of other cities already signed a petition that they have to be net zero by 2030 for new buildings and 2050 for the old buildings. Dubai government, blue residency visa for sustainability, all the initiatives are being taken, and I know you guys are, taking that initiative forward aggressively.
Sure.
So if we could just briefly touch on that.
So on a personal level, I am an investor in multiple tech companies that are SDG oriented, right? Sustainable Development Goals. ESG, SDG means a lot to me. One of our companies, in fact, is doing phenomenally well right here in the UAE and have signed up about 3,000 buildings in terms of using AI to evaluate how to reduce energy consumption, water consumption, and completely create like a SaaS system, that's inbuilt to reduce consumption of energy, optimize the experience, reduce consumption of water, and therefore even affect the net balance sheet of that building, right?
Yeah.
Make it more profitable as a building. So those are simpler initiatives that we're doing. Right now in the pipe for BNW Investments, which is a holding company of ours, we are investing in a bunch of very exciting tech that is going to create green credits, blue credits, work towards bringing our own developments towards the net zero, and bring in a lot of elements of sustainability. Our whole initiative in 2025-26 is to identify, evaluate, get the regulatory and compliance approvals, registrations completed here for those technologies, and start deploying them. What we're already using today is we brought in one of the best companies in India that does, they're actually global. They're originally from India, but now they have a UK setup. They have a setup in Spain. They use 5D BIM technologies where they create a digital twin of the whole building that we're about to create.
Yeah.
And therefore reduce issues like, for example, in many buildings it happens that one department is building the MEP aspect, one department is building a separate line for HVAC, and sometimes they clash. And then you have made some adjustments, you break again, you fix again. Now this creates a loss in financial loss. It creates a loss in time, deliveries. Then sometimes it's haphazard. So in the long run, it'll be a problem and a pain point for the end investor. We don't want that experience. We want to deliver quality. Quality like there isn't, you've not seen that kind of quality is what we want to deliver. We want to be the best at that price point. We're not driven by profit. We're driven by customer experience. Our whole focus is that once a customer comes to us, he says, I don't want to go anywhere else. What is BNW doing next? That's how we, are striving to that. Like an EMAR does today. When you go to an EMAR property, you feel like this is the best I can get. We want to follow in the footsteps, learn from the best, and deliver best-in-class quality and customer experience. So we build in tech, we built in a whole bunch of add-ons in terms of we're giving services post-delivery when people are coming and staying there, that we can anticipate what a family could need. And let's think about everything a family could need and give those services to them. And create an experience where they're living in an apartment but feeling like this is a 24/7 concierge kind of hotel experience. So that's what we're building towards. Those are the departments that I'm working on right now as we speak, because we have a few years lead time to deliver. But by the time we deliver, I want all this experience to be set so that my customers feel like, Mr. Oberoi, we love being part of the BNW family. That's what I want to hear.
I asked you this 2 months ago. I'll ask you this. I'll try my luck. I'll ask you this. I know the answer. But any exciting partnerships coming up in Ras Al Khaimah?
Oh, yes. Something very big.
When will we hear? When will we know?
Let's just say a potentially world-class development company, which we aspire to be. I'm not saying it out of any arrogance or ego. I'm just saying that this is what our aspiration is. Is associating with an existing world-class brand. One of the brands that has won awards on a global scale and is so renowned that it will create noise.
Hopefully.
We don't have to wait for New Year's for the fireworks. The fireworks should happen around Diwali.
Are you planning on becoming backwards integrated as a company?
We are doing a lot of backward integration as a company, but we're doing it in value buckets as our strategy is designed by people who are experts who design strategies for Fortune 500 companies. We believe in adding value. We have, for example, our advisory board, we have Dr. Tariq Hajiri, who was the CEO of DIFC and built the regulatory framework on which DIFC stands today. Was at the executive office of Sheikh Mohammed himself, the ruler himself, in designing a better experience for people who want to financially invest in the UAE, right? So people like that are sitting on our board. We have Andrabi, who's the creator of the 7-day MBA program, right? And who's created family office structures across the region, whether it's the UAE, Qatar, Saudi, and is currently serving as the ambassador of Sri Lanka to the UAE. People like that are our advisors who are supporting us, guiding us, creating a 5-year roadmap, a 10-year roadmap, and milestones on how we get there, how do we achieve. So whenever you're doing anything in life, I believe it's useful to say, honesty to yourself. Where are we? Where do we want to be? How do we get there?
Yeah.
Those 3 questions you have to answer. And then take advice, take guidance of people who are best in class. If you pay peanuts, you'll get monkeys.
Yeah.
Have you ever had me negotiate with Patriot?
No. Yeah.
I've said, okay, what are your terms? Done. Are you happy? Done. Because we don't want monkeys.
Yeah.
We want people who deliver. We want to grow.
Well, before going, can you say something about Patriot in your shootout at Lokhandwala style? Something.
Okay.
I know I've put you on the spot, but
No, it's just like, it's such a serious podcast.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're like,
at the end, I want to keep it at a lighter
yeah,
note.
like a dancing monkey. Huh? Patriot बोलेगा तो अपन को लगता है 6 का 6 दाग देगा, ठोक डालेगा.
Thank you so much, Vivek. It was a pleasure having you. It was a pleasure being in your office, and it was a pleasure having you on our podcast.
Thank you, Owais, and you're always welcome.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to our strategic partnership growing every month.
I must commend you. I think it's a phenomenal job that you and your team are doing at Patriot. Extremely happy with Patriot's performance, and I can only see it go upwards, higher, skywards from here.
Thank you so much, Vivek. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.